There we are. Right. Good afternoon, gentlemen. How are we doing?
How are you, Johnny?
Well, I'm average. I'm average. I'll probably not be as good as Chris, but I'm average.
That's better than the last time we spoke to you, Bumble. You seem a bit more sprightly than a couple of months ago.
The medication's kicking in, so I'm on all sorts of steroids and one thing and another. And I'm doing all right. Yeah, not bad.
Good. That's good. And Mr. Rushworth, how are you, son? It's been a while, actually.
I am good, very good. We haven't spoke a lot recently. Lots of stuff been going on. But how are you? You survived your stag do the other weekend?
Survived me stag do. 6 weeks to the wedding. 6 weeks on Friday. I'd lost a lot of weight. I was doing all right, you know. I fell off the wagon like since I've been back from Dublin. But
are you getting married?
Getting hitched, mate, aye?
Have you been married before?
Nah, first time, mate.
Oh, right.
First time. 38 now. I've been with her nearly 20 years. That's.
You got to do the right thing, haven't you?
Aye, I should really. So we're finally getting around to doing it. I've got the mortgage and the 2 kids. I haven't got a car at the minute, like.
Let's bang some more of these out and keep us going. It's been a while. Season 3's finally here. We've promised for weeks and months that season 3 is going to be coming. So nice to officially get started.
It is. You've had a bit going on, haven't you, Rushy?
Aye.
You've been busy. You've been busy the last few weeks, it's fair to say. What's been going on?
A few changes. Obviously took the step to move away from Durham. And last week was officially announced I'm a Bear, signed for Warwickshire. So it's been an emotional few weeks. Some ups and downs, some tears shed, but I'm excited now for what the future holds.
Good. So you're a Bear? Is that what they call them, Bears?
Yes. So he didn't sign for Worcester because he'd rather be a bear than a bear.
So what's the itinerary looking like for the next few weeks then? Have you still got time off, or when do you join up with them?
I'm back. I'm in Birmingham next week. I'm down there Monday. Meet everyone, get cracking. Some fitness tests towards the back end of the week, which is a little bit different to Durham. Durham normally come in end of November, so it's 3 weeks earlier than I was expecting. So the last few days I've been flogging the gym as much as I can, trying to get a little bit of a head start.
How was your injury, Chris? You were injured, weren't you?
To be honest, I haven't really done a great deal to really test it. I've managed to get a few rounds of golf in and it's felt fine. But I've obviously not bowled a ball or anything in best part of 8 weeks. So, but gym-wise and that, it feels strong. So I've got plenty of time to do some rehab on it and get it right.
Well, that's good, that. If your fitness test is a couple of rounds of golf and I feel okay. And it reminds me, I was coming back from injury and played for Lancs seconds against Yorkshire seconds. Dougie Paget, this is yonks ago in the late 70s. Dougie Paget's the coach, and we're playing at Elland in Yorkshire, near Leeds, and it's a second 11 match. And Dougie said, we got one at first 11 coming up. He's having a fitness test. I said, all right. He says he's here. Anyway, this lad, he turned up in a nice car, and it might have been a Triumph Stag, so it's yonks ago. Anyway, he got a bucket of water and a flannel and a sponge, and he washed his car. And he said, I'm fit, Doug, I'm all right, I'm fit. And that was his fitness test. He washed his car, got in his car, and cleared off to play for the first 11.
So he didn't actually take part in the game whatsoever. Just turned up, watched his car and bugged off.
Washed his car. I'm fit. I'm raring to go. I'm right, Dougie. And off he went.
Well,
Alan, you'll know him. He was called Alan Ramage. He played football.
Yeah.
Alan Ramage. He played football for Middlesbrough, I think. Centre half. Bit of a clogger.
I don't think you'd get away with that now, mind. There's a fitness test.
No. Yeah. And when I was well for you, Rushy. When I was coach at Lancs, we did that bleep test. I don't know whether they still do it. So you've got to walk it and then suddenly get into a jog, and you've got to hit the beat at the end and come back and backwards and forward. We had Ian Austin, who were fantastic. He was quite a ample lad. He had a bit of timber on him. And he got up to level 7, which is a brisk walk. Nothing more than a He coughed. He said, "Ugh, that'll do for me." I'm finished. I said, "You've got to keep going, Bully, till you fall over." No, he said, "I'm done now. I can't do any more." And he had a bit of timber on him, but he was never, ever injured. Never
Right.
got.
Yeah, he was a tough fella as well, wasn't he? He was hard as nails, I reckon.
Yeah, no, he were a big softie. He were a soft lad. He was a lovely lad. And he's found his vocation in life. He's a brewery representative now. Fantastic for him. Absolutely landed in it.
That homebrew just going to slide up to the brewery where he works to see if he can get you in the pubs.
Well, I'm doing my own homebrew. And I've got a 5-galloner on the go, and it's a 6.5 IPA. Me and my mate Howard and Dave, the retired engineer, we're all going to sit down. I've got a stable, and I've turned it into a lovely bar. And so it will like last of the summer wine. The three of us will go and sit in there.
You must have room for another couple at that table, mate, with 5 gallons. Must have a bit of room for me and Rush.
Yeah, it's only a little stable. It's a bit like Jesus.
See, it sounds like a great place to record a podcast after a few pints of 6.5% beers.
Yeah.
The red button, the effing and blinding it.
It'll take some editing. It's like the days where we used to record on a Friday night, Rush.
Oh, the lockdown one.
The lockdown. Right. Cricket. That's what we're here to discuss. I forgot all about that. T20 World Cup. It's happening. It's raining. The wickets look pretty good to bowl on. Fast bowling seems to be
quite spicy.
Prominent.
I mean, I've not seen a great deal of it. I've been keeping an eye on the scores and what's been going on and stuff. But it looks like for once, the seamers and the fast bowlers in T20 cricket are actually, getting a good run of it, which has actually been good to see. Bit of a contest between bat and ball. I think Bumble, you followed a little bit more closely than me and Johnny. What have you been making of it?
Well, I followed it, and you always get them surprise results. Ireland turned England over. England had a shocking day. They were so hesitant, and they know it's going to rain. Everybody's got these radars, and to the minute. And they fell behind. They didn't. All they had to do is get up with the rate, and they never did it. They were so hesitant, and so that was their bad game. So then you look at Australia. They got absolutely rolled by New Zealand, 103 all out. And that's really damaged them on net run rate. England come strong against New Zealand, played really well against New Zealand.
Brilliant yesterday.
They got off to a start. It's so important. You know what it's like. If your opening pair get away in that power play, you're in for a decent score. They got up to about 180 and they rolled New Zealand for 159. So now it's down to net run rate. You'd expect England to beat Sri Lanka. Australia will beat Afghanistan. And England's net run rate is better than Australia. So it looks to me as if the two going through are New Zealand and England. And from the other lot, the other group, South Africa, top of the pile. Forget them. They don't win nothing. They never win, South Africa. They just don't. This might be the turn. Law of averages, they've got to win something. And India, of course, they've still got the swagger. So I reckon it'll be South Africa, India, New Zealand, England going forward.
Kohli, I watched Kohli the other day. He's batting really well at the minute. He's batted well this morning, apparently,
Sorry, rain affected again though this morning, wasn't it?
Yeah, did you see the lad slip over and get run out? He got, honestly, the Bangladeshi lad this morning, I felt sorry for him. Is it Dal?
Das. Is it Das, the opening batsman?
Yeah, that's him. He had 60 off about 20 balls and they were ahead on the Duckworth and Lewis. And he went to run a second and he slipped over and he got run out. I felt sorry for the kid, But it's rained a lot. They never play, I read this the other day, they never play international cricket in Australia in October.
It's been
they're having a World Cup.
20 years or something.
It's a stunning plan. I mean, they're brilliant, the ICC. They're fantastic. And when they played at the MCG, the MCG's rained off. And down the road, about 500 yards, is the covered stadium and they're playing the Big Bash. I tell you, they've got it worked out. They've not thought it through, have they? You've got to think these three. When you're putting a big tournament on, you've got to think it through. They've not thought it through. It's pissing down.
It's madness. You look at 2019, they played the World Cup in England in July and August. You wouldn't put a World Cup in England in April.
No, you put county cricket in April.
Right. Let your staff buggers play cricket in April, man.
There'll be somebody who think, well, we could have a do in March as well. Particularly up at Durham, get the gritter out on the pitch, but get some salt on, and then you can get going in March. There's nothing wrong with February. You can get some nice days in February.
It was
It's
nice
all
last
that way,
week.
isn't it?
I reckon it's warmer in London than it is in Melbourne at the minute.
It is.
Ridiculous. So we reckon what we reckon then. New Zealand, England, India, South Africa.
I actually, going into the tournament, I genuinely thought England were up there as one of the two, I reckon, to win it.
Mm-hmm.
I think they'll miss Topley.
Definitely.
He's been bowling extremely well. Obviously, that left armour swings it, bit of pace, bounce, especially on them pitches over there now. You see the way the wickets are playing, he would have been a handful on there with a new ball.
Yeah, they missed him and they missed Bairstow.
Yeah, definitely. Tell you what, though, Sam Curran, give him his dues. He's been brilliant, like, last couple of months, bowled brilliantly. Bowled well the other night and all. Or was it yesterday?
The New Zealand game.
Aye, he bowled well yesterday.
Good. I think he has been very impressive. Been good. Right. So I still think if England can sneak through, I'm still going to pick England to win it, because I think they've got more firepower in the batting lineup than most of the other teams.
Fair enough. Bumble, what do you reckon?
I'm not moving from New Zealand. I think England are a real force, but I just fancy New Zealand.
I'm gonna go India.
Oh, not one has gone South Africa. They'll win it. South Africa will win it. There's three of us haven't got
them. There's another big event starting in Australia on Sunday night. Do you watch Bumble? Do you watch I'm a Celebrity? Get Me Out of Here.
Never seen it. I know, like Andrew won it, didn't he? Andrew Flintoff won it, and didn't Cap win it? Tuffers.
He did, aye. He might have done, aye.
I think he did. He was one of the first ones.
I think they won it. Tuffers won it, and Andrew Flintoff won it. Yeah. No. Years ago, I got tentatively asked if I'd be interested in going on it. I'd rather stick pins in my eyes. Why do you want to eat worms and spiders and snakes and what? And sit
around, eat worse than that, you know.
And sit around with people you don't like.
It's entertainment, though, isn't it?
Are you a fan, Rush?
No,
mate. I don't watch any reality TV stuff. That stuff. Actually, like, I get grossed out by stuff like that. Like people eating, like, I don't know, whatever they eat, like animals, ball sacks and brains.
Yep.
And
kangaroos, penises, and what have you.
Yeah.
But Matt Hancock's going in it, so it might be a good watch, to be fair.
I've actually read that this morning. All the comments I've seen about Matt Hancock, he's just going to get voted to do everything by the sounds of
it. He's a government fella.
He was the health secretary. Bloody COVID.
Right. Does he not know we're up the spout? What's he doing that? We're up the spout here. But what about that? What about my mate? Vaughan's my mate, Michael Vaughan. He went in. He's always on about dancing. I mean, Ramprakash is a proper dancer. Mike Ramprakash is a proper dancer. I've seen him. I've seen him on
Strictly, wasn't he? Is he gone?
That Strictly come down. I mean, what's he doing? No, I can't come to terms with it. It's not for me. Strictly come drinking, yes. Strictly come drinking would be fantastic. But Strictly come dancing, it doesn't do it for me. All them sequins and putting false tans on and one thing and another.
I take you're not a dancer then. More of a drinker than a dancer.
No, I mean, I always struggled like with a girlfriend because, dancing? Why do you want to go dancing? Well, some people like it. I don't know. Yeah.
Some people
anyway.
These days.
Hey? Huh?
Some people do it for fitness, dancing, dance class.
So you know what you want to start doing? Extend your career.
I've tried everything else.
Ballet dancing.
Might as well give it a whirl.
But anyway, we asked the good folk of Twitter this morning to help us complete our fictional I'm a celebrity, get me out of here cricket lineup, right? So
Right.
we give the good people at Twitter a few options on who they would like to see in the jungle, right?
Right.
So the first option was, would they like to see Rushy, me, or Bumble in the jungle?
I'd vote Bumble.
74% wanted Bumble in.
They've no chance. There's absolutely no chance. No.
But we're going to pick your campmates now, though. So you've got
wait till you see who's in with you.
I know you've got to wait and see who's going to be in with you. You can pick your lineup, right? I'm going to give you 3 options. You pick one of these, right?
Right.
Boycott.
Right.
Michael Vaughan.
Yes.
Or Tufnell.
Oh, that's a killer. I mean, they're all top blokes.
I'd go in with Boycott, like.
I'm going with Bikes.
What would he be like in there?
Tuffers has been there before. Vaughan's got enough on his plate. Jeffrey's doing now. I'll take Jeffrey.
How would he manage in the jungle?
Oh, he'd sort the jungle out. He'd have it all sorted. He'd make a clearing. He'd get rid of all this lot. I don't want all these trees here and all these people. And bring me some steak. He'd be great. He'd be absolutely brilliant. Because he'd have a net as well. He'd take his bat with him. He'd take his bat with him and have a net. I'd be bowling at him all afternoon.
Well, the laugh at Ian Ward.
I'd have to take Nasser. And if he's eating worms, I want to be there watching him do it. And eating whatever, ants and spiders, and shoving his hand in all sorts of snakes. And like, yeah, Nasser, you're in, mate. And bring your wallet as well.
Next one. Ben Stokes, Joe Root, or Johnny Bairstow?
Oh, what a killer. Ben Stokes. I'd have to take Johnny because his mother would go mad if I didn't. If I've got a choice, and his mother would be right, she only lives in the next village down here. Well, why didn't you take our Johnny? Why have you not took our Johnny with you? So, yeah, Ben, I'd be frightened to death of Ben. I don't know what he'd get up to. So I'm having Johnny.
It's a good line.
What?
Good line.
It's a good line so far. If you got Bumble, Boycott,
Nasser,
and Bairstow.
Yeah.
Is there one more?
Yeah, Alan Lamb, Ian Botham, David Gower.
Oh, Lammy's crackers. Beefy doesn't know what day it is. And Gower likes travelling. He loves it, and he's quite posh. We need a posh lad, don't we?
I was just going to say, Gower comes across quite posh. I'd love to see him get some of these challenges.
Yeah, well, he'd be having a wash every 2 minutes, would Gower. And he'd be looking to find anybody with a title like Lord this or Sir that. And so Gower can come with us to just raise the tone a little bit.
Just up the class. I like your thinking.
Yeah, just a bit of class.
Speaking of class, Matt, he put something on social media about you earlier in the week, which I thought was very nice and classy.
I saw that. That was, really nice. It ain't happening, but it was so nice. Yeah, lovely. And he's got himself out and about. He's got himself around doing some work. Good on him. He loves the job. David Gower loves the job. He loves the buzz. That buzz of live cricket and live sport and in front of a camera. He absolutely loves it. He's Mr. Cool, like 30 seconds before coming on air. 30 seconds, 20 seconds, 10 seconds. He's leant back and he's on the phone and he's chatting away. And then the producer says, we're on. And he just goes bang, straight in front of the camera. Real pro.
Unreal. Rush, 5 of your former teammates. Sorry, I should have prepped you for this. Who would you be taking in the jungle with you?
5 former teammates. Who would I have? The Colonel, I think, would be number 1.
The Colonel, of course.
You get lost in.
Great value. Trying to think who else. I'd go Ian Blackwell alongside him.
Yeah, Blackie. Yeah.
I think those two together are quite an interesting duo. So to stick them in the jungle together, I think would be quite fun. And then I would go. I'm sticking with all the similar kind of era. Just Mitch Claydon.
Yeah. Mitch Claydon.
You need someone to chill it down. You're taking all the lunatics in with you.
I know, but it's going to be good fun, though, isn't it? If I'm
but you've got to cook and clean and set fires and all that sort of shit.
Right, here we go. Gareth Breeze.
Gareth Breeze, yeah.
The most organised person you've ever seen in a dressing room. Normally, cricket dressing rooms there's kit and stuff and mess everywhere in a dressing room. He had everything neat and tidy. Built shelves into his locker. So many pegs. He was the neatest man ever. Looked after everyone. Would furb people's bats up if they needed some tape on, sand it, everything. So he'd be good addition. And he can cook.
Oh, perfect. Absolutely perfect.
Yeah, you're laughing. You're laughing in the jungle.
And the last one, I'd take Jeff. Obviously, I'd never played with him. Jeff Cook.
Oh, lovely. What a man. What a man.
The coach, great man, adds value on so many levels. Can chat about cricket for hours.
Yeah.
Loves a drink. Just, he's got endless stories. Whatever kind of stories you're in the mood for, he's got them. So myself, Colonel, Blackie, Mitch, Breezy, and Jeff.
Good crew. Real good crew. Jeff Cook, an absolute gem. Brilliant man.
Agree.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Right then, fellas. Is there anything else left to discuss?
Nick, we were about nicknames, weren't we?
Oh, all right. What was your... Because obviously, when did you start getting called Bumble?
In the dressing room, second 11, just joining the staff at Lancashire, so that'd be in the mid-60s. And I looked like some caricatures on TV, a bit like The Simpsons. They were called the Bumblies. But we had my opening partner, as I developed, and I started off as a spin bowler and developed as a batter. And my opening partner were a lad called Barry Wood, who came to Lancs, and his nickname was Sawdust. Okay, Barry Wood, Sawdust. And we're playing the game, we're batting, and he's out, he's got out. And the fielding side, it's got a bit wet. And they're at Old Trafford, and they're shouting, Sawdust, Sawdust. And he went running on. He said, what do you want? He said, no, we want Sawdust for putting down at the footholes. And I got to tell you about another game at Old Trafford. I wasn't captain at the time. It was Jack Bond as captain, so it's early 70s. We fielded. We were in the field. We had 12 on for half an hour. We fielded. Mike Brealey were playing Middlesex. And Mike Brealey, one of the greatest captains there's ever been, he come running on the field. He says to the umpires, he got 12 on this lot. And Jack Bond, the captain, he said, I thought it were a bit odd. He said, like, 3 slips, a gully, short leg, mid-on, mid-off, fine leg. Oh, and we'll have a third man. And so we had to go back into the room. We got to go back in the changing room and get the team sheet off the board and take it onto the field and go to John Sullivan. Sully, you're not playing. Well, he said, that's what we're in. I were in last week. Well, you're not in this week. You're 12th man. So we played for half an hour. And John Sullivan, who were an ABA boxer, he were a proper boxer. And he had to go off. And we played for half an hour with 12 on. We just carried on.
God. Who were the umpires? Can you remember?
They were good lads. They were grand lads. I loved umpiring. I umpired for about 3.5 years. I absolutely loved it. And nobody gave you any jit. Nobody gave you any lick. You just got on with it. And you do your great respect. And for the lads, you give some out, you give some not out. You know, it's how it is. But there were no DRS, and so there's no challenge. It was good. I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed doing it.
You flirted with the idea of umpiring, didn't you, Rush?
I've done a couple of league games up here. End of COVID year. I've done my level 2 badge, I think it is, or course, whatever you do. So it's something I've looked at. I've obviously spoke to Goffey quite a bit about it, Michael Goff.
Yes.
He loves it. Obviously, he's flying up the ranks now. Like, he is one of the best around. But he said it's the same as what Bumble's just said there. Absolutely loved it, or loves it. It's a great job.
Years ago, a few years ago, I was working for ICC, and I was selecting the international umpires. There were 4 of us on a panel, independent panel, who selected the umpires for international cricket. And it's a cracking job. I tell you, Rushy, when you're finished playing, carry on doing all your badges. And the best thing you can do is stand in matches. And to say that I've stood in second 11 or university or whatever, Premier Leagues, and you've done the job. And my eldest lad is an umpire, and he loves it, absolutely loves it. And it's the same thing, that you give some out, you give them not out, you make a mistake, it's get on with it.
Yeah, I don't know if I would do it. Like, I fight with them too much.
No, we never had any of that. Nothing. Nobody had a bad word for you. I used to, and I'll say, he's not out. An hour and outer, I used to like the game going forward. I'll give him out. Anyway, you go to square leg, and somebody will sidle up and say, "Oh, what, we're up with that?" Oh, I said, it was great shout. I mean, what an appeal, great appeal. I wasn't just sure whether it were going to hit. And if I'd be guessing. If I had to give that out, I'd be guessing. So I'll tell you what I'll do. When you're batting, I'll start guessing. I'd shut them up. They didn't say out after that. They didn't say anything.
Tell you what, this was would have been 5-6 years ago, maybe a bit longer. There's a first class umpire. I won't say it because he's still doing it at the minute. He's still on the list. Stokesy was bowling in a first class game at the Riverside. Massive appeal. Everyone's gone up. Looks stone dead. And the umpires just turned around, gone, not out. Stokesy's turned round, smoking around. What the fuck's wrong with that? And the umpire just went, you know what? I just don't know. I'm not sure.
Well, that's what they're like on a Thursday night.
Stokesy's, you could see his head just went, he got madder and madder.
He got redder and redder, madder and madder.
Oh, you don't want to get on the wrong side of him. I think he's calmed down now a little bit, but he used to go mad at umpires.
He chased me. Me and him were playing golf together. We were the pair in, what's it called? Kandy in Sri Lanka at Victoria. And there's this tight, it's a par 4, but it's dead tight trees, this side, that side, lake. And he's got his driver out. Everybody else has played an iron up there. He hits this driver and it's disappeared through trees. And anyway, the club follows the ball. He's whizzed the club round his head and he's blown as this driver a good 20, 30 yards. And I says to him, surely you could throw it further than that. And he started chasing me around the course. Bastard. I'm playing with you. I'm your partner.
He's exciting to play golf with because he hits it absolutely miles, as you can imagine. Yeah. But it doesn't go the right way. He's not shy of throwing the club. I've seen him snap a 9-iron, throw one into a pond before.
Yeah, me too. I've seen him go out with 14 clubs and come back.
We got lost off on topic there. Nicknames. Any interesting nicknames from your days?
Nah, I think all the good ones, like the obscure ones, are probably a bit before my time. I reckon it's all like bog standard. You stick a Y on the end or an X on the end or something. Now it's.
Have you never had an interesting nickname?
Rob Key once called me Benjamin Button. when I first started playing, obviously I was a bit bigger, trying to keep hold of my hair, but it was thinning. And he turned around to Pudsey Lee and Plunkett, and he was like, "How old is this guy bowling?" Like 42, 43, and Pudsey was like, "Nah, he's only 25, 26." He was like, "Fucking hell, is this Benjamin Button?"
Keysy, I mean, in his position of great responsibility now, he's such a dry wit. And I can imagine him when he was captain of Kent. And he's told the story, and it's going to be about one of your teammates coming up, Rushy. You're going to Warwickshire. This is about one of your teammates. And at the time, he's Lancashire wicketkeeper, Alex Davis. And he's batting. And Alex Davis is a real firecracker. He's right on the edge most of the time. And he's batting, and Keysy's at short mid-off, silly mid-off. And he says to his keeper, I can't think, he might have been Billings, a wicket keeper. He said, who do you think, of all the 18 counties, he said, who do you think's the worst wicket keeper in all the 18 counties? And you can't have him that's batting now because he's a given. He is the worst. The second worst. He went absolutely scatty, did Al Davis. And as you would do, he's on a knife edge, is Al. Yeah. And Rushy will find out when he goes down there because he were at Lancs. He's a ground lad, but he's a firecracker.
He's playing against him. He comes across like that. I've been on a few tours and stuff with him, and he's a completely different person off the pitch. Like you say, he's a lovely, lovely lad.
Yeah.
He just got white line fever, hasn't he?
He has, absolutely. And I went, they asked me very, very nicely. They had an away day. They went to a different club away from Lancashire, West Orton it was, for a practice away day. And they asked me to go along and just chat to them, and I did that. And I talked about the culture of the team. I said, you've got your managers and you've got your coaches. I said, but the culture, you the players decide what your culture is. I said, no, I've been in dressing rooms and I've played and I've coached, and you never get 18 people the same. You don't. I said, you've got to put your arm around some, you've got to give some a bollocking. And in every 18-22, there'll be a couple of shits. Absolute shits. It's everybody's fault but theirs. And I said, but you've still got to embrace that character. And you've got to give him his moment. You've got to let him have his moment and just wait for him to come back into the team. He will come back into the team. So we finished the speech. Alex Davis comes up to me and says, I'm one of them little shits.
Well, at least he's recognised it himself.
Yeah. So I said to him, so when you're out, you'll come in and you'll throw your bat and you'll kick a few things. And yeah. I said, well, that's fine. As long as you come back. I said, that's your time. It's your space. They should give you, I said, in my opinion, they should give you that space. But then it's up to you. Your responsibility is to come back into the fold. And then we get on with it. We get on with the game. And people who have never been in a dressing room will not understand that you can have some real ding-dongs. You can have some real spats in the dressing room. But that's what it's for, the dressing room. When you go out and have a drink that night and you pally again, he's your mate who you've just given an almighty bollocking to. I played 19 years, that's how it was.
Foxy once told us you made him cry.
I did.
Can you remember that, Rush?
Yeah, he played fantastic.
Might have been at one of the Friday nights, but yeah, he told us he went Bumble made us cry when I was a young one.
And all I said to him, I killed him. I'd give him one line. How long are you going to live off that 100?
Aye, I remember now.
That were it. That were it. I mean, I know Graham, I love him to bits, and I know he's had problems. But I tell you what a player. As brave as a lion, that lad. Brave as a lion. I mean, played shots that I thought, how the hell does he do that? And he was like double jointed, and his wrists and his shoulders, and just a little fella, he could hit a big ball.
Legend. Might get him back on.
Definitely.
If he can stop, if he can put the paintbrush down for a minute, we might ask him on.
Right, are we going to whip out any more nicknames, or are we just going to leave it at that? Because we've gone on for a bit there.
No, we got sidetracked, didn't we? We'll do them next week.
Well, there's crime into David Steele, Sports Personality of the Year, 1976. His nickname was Crime. Crime not pay. He's the tightest bloke ever. We'll never buy a rack. Crime doesn't.
Hey, well, I enjoyed that, lads. It was good, that, considering we haven't all
nice to catch up
for a few months.
Yeah, good to we're done, I think. So great to catch up with you both. Rushy, all the best with training next week. Let us know next time how it's gone down at Brum.
Absolutely.
Aye. Don't be coming on with a bloody different accent around.
All right.
Definitely not one of them. That's
All right.
Boy, I'm building a base for I've got a potting shed coming.
Top man.
Right. Afternoon sorted. Enjoy.
That's it.
Thanks, chaps.
Bye. Cheers, Bumble.